another team with a pretty wide spread between ceiling and floor. This is a team that SMU has to play after Florida State. They go to Louisville. Louisville, we saw in the ACC championship game last year. This team, much like last year's team, very different than the one that came before it. Last year it was Jeff Brohm coming in, bringing in a lot of guys from the portal. This year they lost a lot of the older guys that Jeff Brohm had brought in. Now they had to replace a lot of those guys through the portal. You're seeing more movement, like the whole Tyler Barron thing. Like he's not going to wind up at Louisville, it doesn't sound like. But they have Tyler Shough at quarterback, who I think is fascinating because he's been at Oregon, he's been at Texas Tech. He's never really been healthy, but all the tools are there. Their O-line is revamped. So they got Monroe Mills from Texas Tech and Jonathan Mendoza from Yale at the tackles, Pete Nygaard from Northern Illinois at the center. Don Chaney Jr. averaged 5.1 yards a carry at Miami. He's now Louisville's running. Colin Lacey from South Alabama was their best receiver. This is a team that could look entirely different, but could be probably just as good as last year.
Yeah, and Jeff Brohm has sort of acknowledged that they're going to have to be either just as good or better than last year to even get close to that win total, because the schedule is much tougher this year. Louisville is super interesting to me, man, because when you get Notre Dame, you go to Clemson, you get Miami, and they can't beat Kentucky right now. So you have to count that in the loss column until proven otherwise. Like, I think from a ceiling standpoint, you hope to get one of those four, and then you run the table the rest of the way, and you end up at 9-3. But this is a team that is going to look vastly different. I do think defensively, with Ashton Gelati back, with MJ Griffin back and healthy, and the surrounding cast around them, like, I think this is a defense that has a chance to be just as good as they were a year ago. They did lose a couple of pieces that were pretty big for them, but I think those are pieces that can be replaced when you have an elite edge rusher and a guy on the back end that's as talented and versatile as MJ Griffin. So I think defensively you should get at least close to what you saw a year ago. And offensively, that system, they should be better at tight end. They did not get a lot of production at the tight end position. I really like Colin Lacey coming over from South Alabama. And you said it, like, injuries have prevented Tyler Shough from reaching his ceiling. He's in his 7th year of football. Like, he has been around forever. If he can stay healthy, and if Don Chaney Jr. is also struggling with injuries, if they can stay healthy both, then you've got a really good battery in that backfield. So I like the potential of Louisville. I really do. But I kind of feel like I did last year, Andy. Like, I don't know exactly what to do with them. I know a little more than I did last year, but there's so many changes that you can't be sure.
Yeah, they caught Notre Dame at the right time last year and beat them down. And then they go to lose to Pitt. Like, it didn't make a lot of sense. Like, Florida State exposed their offense. The Florida State defense exposed their offense in the ACC championship game. But the defense, Gelati especially is fantastic. Mason Rager, the other edge rusher, very good. And they get Thor Griffith, our guy from Harvard, who can bench 225 about 700 times. So
you get the God of Thunder, and like, you have to be great on defense.
Exactly. The intelligent God of Thunder. The God of Thunder with a degree.
That's an elevated God of Thunder that we've never met before.
Exactly. Well, we've met him because he's been on our show. We had him before the season last year. Thor's a fun dude. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.